I found a Roblox game with 0 players. I thought it was just a dead game. There wasn't even a player online, but something about it felt weird. The game was called The Empty Neighborhood. The thumbnail showed an empty street. I almost closed it. Then I noticed one thing. There was someone standing at the end of the street. I checked the player list again. Still 0. So who was that? I decided to join the game. The screen went black. Then the game loaded. The neighborhood looked completely abandoned. I walked forward. There wasn't a single sound. Then I heard a door open behind me. I hadn't touched that house, so why had it just opened? I decided to stay away from it. I kept walking. Then I saw another house. There was a light upstairs. Someone was moving behind the curtain. I froze. Then the light turned off. I thought it was over. Then I heard someone whisper my username. But I had never told anyone my username. I checked behind me. Nothing. I looked at the houses. Every window was dark. Then one window lit up, and I saw a Roblox avatar. It was staring at me. I took one step backward. The avatar disappeared. Then I heard footsteps coming from directly behind me. One step, then another. I didn't move. The footsteps stopped. I slowly turned around. Nobody. But the footprints were still there. Then I noticed something even worse. They weren't coming toward me. They were following my exact path. Then I looked at the footprints again, and they started moving. Another footprint appeared. Then another. I ran. I didn't even look back. Then I saw the same house again. I had been running straight, but somehow I was back where I started, and the door was already open. And this time, there was a message waiting inside. I didn't want to go inside, but I needed to know what it said. So I walked in. The house was completely empty, except for one thing. Someone had written my username. I stepped closer. Under it was another message. It said, "You took too long." Then every door in the house opened at the same time. I didn't move. I looked into the first room. There was a computer, and it was showing me. I stepped closer to the screen. Then I noticed the camera angle. The camera was inside the game. And then the screen changed. It was showing my avatar standing behind me. I turned around, but there was nobody there. I looked back at the computer. The screen was completely black. Then something appeared. It was my avatar, but it wasn't copying me anymore. It was moving on its own. Then it pointed behind me. I didn't want to look. Then the avatar smiled. And then I finally heard a voice behind me. It whispered my name. I knew that voice. It sounded exactly like me. I slowly turned around, and I saw nothing. I looked back at the screen. There was someone standing behind me on the screen. Then the avatar on the screen leaned closer and said, "Turn around." I knew I shouldn't, but I turned around anyway. There was someone there. It looked exactly like me, but its face was completely black. It didn't move. Then it raised its hand. It pointed toward the computer. I looked at the screen. There were hundreds of avatars, and every single one was looking directly at me. Then the game suddenly showed me a countdown. 60 seconds. I had no idea what would happen when it reached 0, so I tried to leave, but the front door wouldn't open. I tried again. Nothing. Then I heard the countdown again. 30 seconds. And then every avatar on the screen started walking toward me. And then one of them disappeared from the screen. I counted them again. There was one less. Then another disappeared. Then I realized what was happening. They weren't disappearing. They were getting closer. The countdown reached 10, 9, 8, 7, 3, 2, 1, and the computer went completely black. Then I heard the front door open downstairs. Someone had entered the house. I didn't hear footsteps. Then I heard the door close. I knew I had to hide. I waited. Then I saw a shadow. It stopped right outside my room. I held my breath. Then my own voice whispered from the other side of the door, "I know you're here." Then the door handle slowly started turning. I couldn't move. The door opened a little. I saw the red hoodie. It was wearing my clothes. Then it stepped inside. It looked around. Then it looked directly at me. But it didn't attack me. It pointed behind me and whispered, "He's already here." I turned around and saw another version of myself standing there. There were two of me. The first one smiled. Then the second one appeared. Then another. They filled the hallway. None of them moved. Then they all looked at the computer. The screen showed one message. Then every copy pointed at me, except one. That was the only copy that wasn't trying to kill me. I looked at the one that wasn't pointing. It looked scared too. Then it pointed at the computer. The message had changed. Find the original? Then I realized something terrifying. I couldn't remember which one entered the game first. Then the silent copy walked toward me. It stopped in front of me and whispered, "You're not the original." Then the lights went out, and every copy started laughing. I couldn't see anything, but I could hear them. They were getting closer. I ran. I didn't know where I was going. Then I saw the computer room. The screen was showing me. Then I noticed something behind the copies. It wasn't another copy. It was the person controlling the entire game.